which we're party.
Yeah, but who knows? Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Chandler, the Geek Slays, and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast, episode 106. This thing's back. I don't know how to feel about it. Had other plans for a guest today, but,
Fuck those people.
No, this one's valid. Real life shit popped up for them, so, fair enough.
Unfortunate.
Quite unfortunate. Hope everything goes okay
I
there. I haven't heard
died.
anything back. I'm genuinely not sure. So.
Oh, so really serious.
Yeah, like it's fair. Maybe we'll talk about it later. Not going to talk about it here. That is not my place. It is their thing. That if they want the internet to know, they can talk about it. So, since we didn't have a guest, I didn't want to do a solo podcast 2 weeks in a row. So
You roped
called
me
him
into it.
Yeah, he's fine with it. He likes it, or he doesn't. I don't know. He probably likes that he.
I just come
stopped
for the
having to
food
do
and
it.
cribbage.
That's true. Free food and cards. We really need to do a cribbage stream at some point.
That we do.
Whether it be real life or...
Online or something.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if there's any online things
Don't
that
you
are
play
good.
online cribbage?
I just have a disc on
Oh.
my computer.
Good God,
I
what
play
is
the
this,
computer,
2003?
Actually, yeah. It is a disc from 2003.
Big brain.
2003 or 2004, one of the two.
Mostly it's just a computer game on disc. Do you see a disc reader in this PC?
I'm surprised my laptop has a disc reader, honestly, because it's a newer laptop.
Discs have been irrelevant. It was wild. Discs were basically irrelevant as soon as they came out, because Blu-ray came out, like 5 years after CDs? And Blu-ray was just better.
Yeah.
Dude, the innovations in tech, the way the world changes so goddamn quick is wild. Think of this. 10 years ago, putting your kid in a stranger's car to go to the airport, you would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we'll call an Uber. That's just some random dude's car.
Right.
Like, just call an Uber. Because, I mean, airport parking's what, like $30 a day? Why would you do that? Just take an Uber. It's easier. You know, phones 10 years ago weren't anything. Now our phones are more powerful than the computers that sent humans to space.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
An interesting
wild.
thought.
It's wild. Well, and it's been brought up lately that, like, the Lakers might trade LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, 5 years ago, could you imagine any NBA team considering trading LeBron? No, you can't. That's not something that people could actually fathom. But now it's like, you know, which is wild. Is he still a top 5 player in the NBA? Absolutely. But
is he the best person for the team?
see, the Lakers have bigger issues than LeBron. The fact that the guy they mortgaged their entire future for can't play anymore. He's just hurt all the time. And then when he's not hurt, he's what? This year been the worst he's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Can't shoot, can't do nothing. Every piece that you acquired has basically just been awful. I can't pin that on LeBron. Like, these other guys are supposed to be good basketball players. Why aren't they?
Plus, they may not want to draft LeBron's kid one of these days. So
did I tell you about that, or did you
I seen
hear
it on...
about it? Yeah, so that one's interesting. Because what's the only other father-son duo to ever play in a major league sport together?
It's like
the only one I can
baseball,
think of is
isn't
the Griffeys. Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. And that would have been...
80s?
We did talk about this, because I mentioned it while we were sitting with Destiny.
Yeah.
Because I said 92, and she was like, wasn't it 93? And I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Doesn't matter, it was the 90s.
That was not important. Like, maybe it was. I don't know.
Most likely before I was born, so whatever.
Yeah, right?
25, 27 years ago.
Do not transfer to the HomePod. That would be loud, suddenly. Just hear your own voice screaming at you. No, but if I'm any team in the NBA, I want to do anything I can to get that kid drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're a competing team, it would just be too good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, cool, we just have to pay this basically minimum contract to a rookie to get one of the best players in the league, because...
But it ain't going to be about the money for him anyway.
He's already said that. He's going to take whatever. He's playing with his son. He doesn't care. He'll do whatever he has to do.
Yeah, so here's $5. Come play for us.
Oh, there's still a minimum, but he'll just take the minimum. So if you're a team that has put together a super team, and it's just like, oh, we can just add LeBron just for giggles? Cool. And then, I mean, who knows if it works out with Bronny? Who knows if he's any good?
I was about to say, at that
but if he's not, who cares? You just traded for LeBron, basically. If he does turn out to be good, you lucked out big time.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible to project whether
And who knows, this kid could be super good, too.
I was going to say, it's impossible to project whether he'll be any good. It's impossible to project that with any player. Look at Zion Williams.
He's got good DNA in him, so...
Yeah. And who knows, that'll be an interesting thing to find out, right? But I really don't have topics in mind for today, so we're just going to jump to everything.
That's what usually happens, so I mean...
That's true. Sometimes we have a topic, we have a reason we're sitting here, like a couple weeks ago.
It usually ends up talking about it in the end anyway, so...
Well, because I always think, we should put it off so we're not completely screwed, 20 minutes in.
Right.
But then normally it's like, we're an hour in and haven't touched the thing that we titled the podcast after.
Mm-hmm.
After? We titled it after. Officer? So, we're going to war, huh?
Apparently, you...
Have fun, buddy.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll take good care of nothing. Don't you worry about it.
I'm probably just going to sit back, put my sunglasses on, and enjoy the nuclear show, so, I mean...
Yeah, that's more likely what's... If I were to put money on there being a draft, or just nuclear annihilation, give me nuclear annihilation for 50 points, please.
Well, hopefully everybody's like, no, there's no winner when it comes to nuclear warfare.
There's not a winner.
Everybody
when it comes
loses
to
when that
war.
happens. So hopefully, I see Putin being, he wants Ukraine for his advantage. He doesn't want to destroy Ukraine.
No, but he's
wants
dumb enough to try to nuke us. He's dumb.
Well,
obviously, based off this entire thing. You have the rest of the world.
Actually, the only people that have talked about nuclear warfare is Joe Biden.
Well, sure.
Russia, Ukraine, nobody else has talked about it except Joe Biden. Just nuke them.
What I'm saying is, do you know how dumb Putin's got to be to know the rest of the world is saying, you do this, you're not going to like it. And him to just go, okay.
Actually...
Yeah, cool, he's allied with China, I don't care.
Yeah.
That means nothing.
That does mean a lot.
It really does.
Because think of it this way. Ukraine is nothing.
Sure.
The only thing Ukraine offers is strategic points.
Yeah, when he tries to invade the rest of Europe.
That's
his whole goal.
And that might be his goal or might not be. But either way, he has a lot more power if he has Ukraine. Mm-hmm. He's always wanted Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, China has always wanted Taiwan. We don't want China to have Taiwan for its strategic points either.
Right.
So, if Russia goes ahead with the plan to, and I've already seen points about it, it's
I'm
happening.
pretty sure it's already done.
It's going to happen. Then if it's not happening now, it's happening tomorrow or the next day.
I think it already happened. Oh, but hey. Vladimir Putin announces special military operation in eastern Ukraine.
Yep.
In a televised speech early Thursday, he has authorized a special military operation in eastern Ukraine, according to AP and BBC News. Explosions have been reported in multiple cities in Ukraine following Putin's announcement earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nuts.
Well, and part of the problem with Ukraine is not all of Ukraine is...
Against it?
Against it. Some of them are pro-Russian, There's sanctioned areas
That is a decent-sized explosion back there.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Not nuclear, but
no,
it's a big one. It's a big non-nuclear one.
Yeah. Just a warhead, basically.
I'm more worried about the first nuclear one.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to go, oh, my turn.
Yeah. But anyway.
And I get it. Like, I hate the argument that I've seen people make. Well, the U.S. has more of them. It's like, that doesn't mean anything. Technically, yes, we do. But.
That they know of, I guess. But Russia has 6,900 and whatever. We have 4,000 whatever.
Yeah, that we publicly disclose. Right.
I think we have more.
I was going to say, it's just like the fact that we have more airplanes than Russia has troops. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sorry, sit down. Because not only do we have the airplanes, we have the men to put in them. Mm-hmm. For being the largest active military in the world, actually, I think China surpassed us. Yeah. But it's barely. And ours is all volunteer. And I promise you, if true war breaks out, the volunteers skyrocket anyways. Because, think of the 27-year-olds who retired from the military. They'll be like, I can do it again. Some of them. Others are probably like, me. Fuck them? That's dumb.
Yeah.
This is not my fight.
Well, but what I was getting at was if Russia goes ahead with the Ukraine thing, I almost guarantee, because this is what I would do. China's going to take the opportunity to take Taiwan. Because that puts NATO and the United States we would have to fight a two-front battle between two large superpowers. Mm-hmm. Now, if we're focused on one, that's one thing. But if we have China trying to attack this thing here, we're going to have to go, okay, which one do we fight? Do we let China have Taiwan, or do we let Russia have Ukraine? Which one's more of a threat? Because there's no way in hell we're going to be
Which one's more important?
Yeah, which one's more important? Because we can't fight both sides. We just don't have the personnel. We don't have the military.
I think us, along with all the other NATO countries, could fight both sides. But it would 100% spring it to World War III. If both happen, World War III starts. If it's just the Russia-Ukraine thing, it does not automatically mean World War III.
Right.
That just means Russia's trying to make a power play. Right. And it technically falls on the U.S. to tell them to sit down.
But the Chinese have already stated that, they would support Russia. Because they're both basically communists and dictators. So they agree with each other on that part.
So what is with... What was it? Trump put out a tweet. Not a tweet, obviously, because he's banned on Twitter. Oh, are you signing up for Truth Social? That released on Monday.
No.
Donald Trump's weird social media platform.
It's a new platform, and it's got a lot of bugs.
First of all, to me, you know what that's going to turn into? It's going to fail. You want to know why? The people that it's designed for, the super radical Republicans, because that's what it's for, we know this, it's just going to be an echo chamber for them. There will be no one for them to argue with, and they will be off the website. Show me a social media platform where the users aren't constantly arguing, and I'll show you a dead social media platform. That's the only way social media succeeds, is if opposing viewpoints are there. Because then people have something to talk about. But no. Trump currently is calling Putin a genius. And incredibly sad. I'm sorry. You are... I'm
not trying to defend it. I'm just saying that...
my thing is, why are you praising the person we're about to go to war with? I get it, he's your best buddy, and you would love for him to bend you over a table. But...
militarily and politically, because right now, Putin is making it seem like he is the victim here.
He's trying to, yeah. And Republicans...
And a lot of people are believing it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say most Republicans, I'm going to say most radical, staunch Republicans are for some reason siding with Putin. Which is weird. That's not okay. How do you see a dictator trying to take over another country and go, he's right? What?
There are some people out there that say he's right, but there's also the people like me.
What did I
understand?
Are you a radical Republican? Because I don't think you were in the group I said.
Not, but radical fucking liberals in this country.
Yeah, that's what I get that, but I'm saying that
I'm not defending the radical Republicans, and I don't think there's as many radical Republicans out there as people think there is, just like there's not as many radical liberals out there as people think there is. But from a political standpoint, I understand what Putin is doing. He has made it seem like he has no other option but to invade Ukraine. Therefore, he is gaining support in a way. You think about these other countries who are kind of teeter-tottering on, oh, do we support Ukraine? Do we support Russia? Who do we support? Russia right now looks like the victim.
They're trying to play victim.
They're trying to play victim.
If you have a brain cell, you realize they're not.
But a lot of people don't see it that way.
I know.
We right here, we see that, okay, this is what he's trying to do. He is very manipulative. He's very smart. He knows what he's doing. He's making it seem like, hey, I have no other choice but to invade Ukraine for the national security of Russia. And
yeah, it's going to be bad.
It does, in a way, give him support from different countries. Maybe not so much from the United States. It doesn't matter whether the radical Republicans agree with him or not. It depends on our military and our president, and it doesn't give a who cares about who the fuck says what when they have no military power.
It's another one of those. I would, based on what I know and what I've seen, we wouldn't have moved any troops towards Ukraine if Trump was president. He'd just let it happen.
I don't think it would have happened in the first place.
It would have. Actually, we'd probably be helping them take Ukraine.
No, I don't think so.
Trump has this weird obsession and fondness for Putin, where I think again, it's weird when you see the leader of the free world, which is what the president is supposed to be, refusing to look a man in the eye.
Well,
Trump cowers. And that's weird. When Biden's speaking, Trump doesn't stand proud. He head down looking away. That's not...
See...
I think this would be worse.
Politically, I think Trump...
Politically? I hate that we got into politics on this, but... the title...
It's a big deal. It's a big issue.
Yeah.
And it's something that everybody needs to think about and address, because
YouTube don't ban me.
This stuff could really hit the...
It could be
shit
bad.
could hit the fan and could get really bad really quickly.
People need
it's
to
a really
hear...
bad domino effect, especially with two big superpowers
and again,
like Russia and the
I'm
United
going to
States.
say this just so everybody... We are not a news outlet. This is all opinion-based, unless we say this report and tell you the report. Yeah. Everything I've just said about Trump, that's the opinion I've seen from what I have seen from him. Just like most of this is his opinion.
Right.
This is not us trying to, we're not trying to take people to our sides or anything. We're just saying what
my point is Donald Trump was president for 4 years.
Sure.
And he dealt with Putin. Why, if Trump was so... If you say that Trump is so in favor of Putin and him taking Ukraine, Putin would have taken it while Trump was president.
There were other reasons why he didn't.
Putin has more power now than he did with Donald Trump.
That's fair.
Because of Joe Biden's... his political standpoints and the things that he did with oil and money.
Sure.
He gave Putin more power by doing that, which was stupid. It was the dumb thing to do. He basically shut down, which I didn't entirely agree with, the Keystone Pipeline.
Right.
But in a strategic point, that he said, okay, we're shutting down our pipelines here in Keystone's going to get shut down, and also gave the go ahead for pipelines through Russia, which now Russia completely controls. So now people countries like Japan who don't agree with what Putin's doing right now, Putin says, well, guess what? Since you don't agree with us,
no oil.
your oil prices are going to double and triple and quadruple. Yeah, because they have that power now.
That's also... So, I gotta look what sanctions actually got put in place.
Now, economically, the Russians are going to struggle.
Especially since we've already put new sanctions in place.
But Putin is no dummy. He knows what's going to happen. He knew that the sanctions were going to happen, so he's prepared for this. So when somebody says, well, we're going to sanction him, so he's going to war. He knows this. He is betting on the fact that he has enough.
Exact problem now, though, is we've just completely blocked Russia's military bank. Russia no longer has any money. That quick.
Well, unless
because we told Russia not to do it, or we're gonna do this, and Russia
knew it. Now think about it.
My real question is: did Putin think it was just Biden talking? Did he think Biden didn't have the gall to actually do it?
No, because
I think he did.
Because it isn't Biden that does it. Technically it is, but Biden isn't calling the shots.
Well,
people come to the table and go, hey, this is the best thing to do. And he goes, okay.
Well, that's every president. Really.
Technically.
Realistically, I mean,
it ain't going to be the goddamn president who doesn't have military
it's a
strategy. We're going to have our generals and shit like that.
I know,
have those ideas.
But what I'm saying is, it's still a thing of, did he just view it as he's spineless and would never try it?
Think of it this way.
Because even if you're the president, you're the sitting president, you have all these advisors, even if we tell you this is what you should do, you don't have to listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But was it a
think about it this way
thing?
If a country if there's a lot of people who are against a country invading another, look back in history. Japan, Germany, we all did the same damn thing with them. Hey, we'll cut off their source of income or their military, whatever funds their military and stuff. We've done that. Putin knew that was going to happen. That is a given. If you go to war with another country that, especially the United States, doesn't agree with, since they seem to be the top dog and make the decisions on everything, he knew that was going to happen. I have a feeling he has a plan. He knew this was going to happen. I think he's betting on the fact that he has, and I'm curious to see what he's got going on, because he's been talking with China big time. And China might be the people that bail him out. And I'm worried about that.
That's where it gets more interesting.
That's where it gets interesting. China has because think about how much the United States relies on China.
Yeah.
We rely on them for everything, which is horrible. That's a horrible thing.
And it's not,
when it comes to war.
I do not want to hear people try to do the U.S. can just start doing it all themselves. No, we can't.
We couldn't afford to.
Yes, we could. I refuse to sit here and believe that we couldn't afford to. All of the companies that we have in this country could absolutely afford to make all their products here and sell them for the exact same price. Cool, your CEO is just getting...
That's not what I meant.
But no, the biggest one, what is the truly most important thing in this world right now? Computer chips. Right. Processing power.
Right.
We cannot make them here. Mm-hmm. Even if we decided today that we are going to open fabs and create all of our own
we would still have to
computer
import
chip, it would be 10, 15 years before the fabs were even up and running.
Right. But
let alone at any actual capacity.
What I meant was we could not afford to just go, hey, fuck you, China. We're going to do our own thing. It would take it's going to take, because we have shifted in China, and they were smart for doing this.
Yeah.
They did this on purpose for power. And they basically said, okay, we're going to make everything super cheap and we're going to sell it to the United States. Well, by doing that, I put all the businesses out of the United States and caused them to move either to China or outside of the United States so they could do things cheaper. So therefore, we completely rely on China. If China were to say F you, the United States, we would be screwed. So screwed. Now, if China backs Russia, and at some point we get to that pivoting point, and China says, oh yeah, by the way, we struck a deal with Russia, we're going to start doing more trade deals and more stuff with Russia, and you're going to get the shit into the stick. Guess what? That's not going to be good for the United States.
Right. No,
not good at all.
Dude,
and that's the only thing right there. That's the only thing right there that really, really makes me super nervous.
This war doesn't even have to go to war. It could be entirely a political warfare thing. And that is the only way we lose. If it comes to true war, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, I get it. China has more fighting forces. That means nothing to me. The number of forces you have mean nothing. Especially, I'm sorry, when you force people to be in your military, there is not going to be loyalty there. They do not care. When your military is all volunteers, there's loyalty there because you chose to do it.
I'm not necessarily worried about losing the United States, but we don't want them to have Taiwan. We don't want them to have Ukraine.
No.
Because that will embolden them.
So, real quick, just for you, this is what I'm talking about. That this was when they met the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't shake his hand, didn't do nothing. He stood there like that. The last time, just Putin and Obama.
Well, that's a picture, though.
No, you can watch the full video. I just don't have the video handy.
If you look at Donald Trump, anytime he talks, anytime he does anything, he's looking down.
No.
Every time he's walking, whenever he's walking, he's looking down.
No.
Or he does the little head thing like this.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's just Donald Trump's. You cannot show a picture and be like, oh, well, look how much of a pussy he is compared to Barack Obama, who happened to look.
That's not what I was saying. I wasn't even trying to use that comparison. It was just the other picture that was there. I just mean, that is... Why are you in that situation? Why do you want to even appear like that? Be more aware of your surroundings. Be more aware of what's going on. Because even if you are not what I think, it still looks bad. Not just on you, but on the entire country. That's my point.
I think that Putin had a lot more respect for Donald Trump than he did for Joe Biden. You know?
I don't know if respect's the right word.
Because Donald Trump was not utterly freaking clueless. You know? He listened to more people around him when it came to military, and he hired better people than Joe Biden has.
Right, he hired Russians.
Russians?
Yeah, his campaign manager, who, it was official, is currently in prison because they were a Russian spy. In Putin's mind, that is hiring better people. You hired Putin's guy. I'm sorry. That one was, that's tough. But also, did he hire better people? Because he fired
look at Joe
all
Biden.
of them.
He's hired a bunch of Muslims, and
nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with hiring somebody who's from a different country.
Till you find out that they're literally a spy.
Right. Well, if Donald Trump would have found out he was a spy, then I'm guarantee you he'd be in the same goddamn place. We didn't know he was a spy until after Joe Biden was there.
He was a good spy.
And they didn't even they didn't even ask him, oh, hey, are you a spy? It just was revealed because they were investigating Donald Trump.
Right.
And it wasn't it wasn't even Donald Trump's idea to hire that person.
Right. Well, it was his campaign manager. How is it not his idea?
Because he gets a selection of people, and he goes, okay, this person seems to be the best selection, judging by how their intelligence and how they present themselves.
This leads me to new questions.
So Joe Biden probably would have selected the same person.
How little information do you think he was working under? Do you think he just looked at the piece of paper, hired them, and never actually spoke to them?
No, I'm sure he spoke to them.
Because, I'm sorry, when as a... Look at any business. Because isn't that what Trump's supposed to be, is this magnificent businessman that every business he has fails? But this magnificent businessman. What do most businesses do when they hire you? Oh, multiple rounds of interviews, background checks, all of this stuff. You're telling me
you're
he didn't...
a spy, it's not like your background's going to pop up. Oh, hey, this one's a spy.
No, but red flags would. Do you just not care?
Maybe. The only reason they knew this one was a spy is because they found evidence of them releasing important documents.
Right.
That's the only evidence they had.
Right. But
anybody could have hired him. Barack Obama, they're a spy. They're not going to
Well, I get that. That's what literally the point of a spy.
And they don't even sound like they're Russian. I've heard the person talk. Right. You know, they talk like you and I do. It's not like, you know.
That feels weird.
I'm Russian.
Is it racist? I don't. That doesn't. It's not racist. That feels something. Feels not right.
I thought it sounded pretty good, but
were those real words?
No.
There you go.
I think it could have been. It would have been more racist if I would have said words, because I don't know what the fuck I would have been saying.
That might have been funnier when somebody finally translates it, because I'm sure Russia's watching.
I'm sure they watch everything.
Right. Everyone watches everything.
But I'm from Russia, so
I'm not. Go back to Russia.
Well, actually, technically, we were Germans that lived in Russia, and we were part of the Russian army. The Tsar. Actually, it wasn't the Russian army; it was the Tsar army, which was just a rich family that made their own military.
Go back to Russia.
I mean, I do like vodka, so I mean, hey.
I don't like vodka that much.
You're Irish. You're a whiskey person.
Have you seen anything about Russia? I don't like vodka enough to go to Russia.
So,
and also it's in Russia, vodka drink you.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Seen some of the shit that Russians do?
Also,
obviously vodka fuel.
Did you see the news report the other day about the Irish fisherman that scared off a Russian warboat?
Oh, yeah. I did see.
It's like, yeah, you did. Let's go.
I did see something about that.
Don't piss off the fishermen. I just love that the quote from the guys from the fishing boat was, "These are fishing waters, not war waters. Get out of here." It's like, I love you.
The balls on that guy are about this fucking big.
Right? Take your little ass boat out there. Hey, you fuck off. That's the best.
You're screwing with the fish. Get out of here.
You're ruining my fishing trip. What's going on with you? You miss 10 phone calls yet?
What's your ETA? What the hell? Never heard my mom say that.
Never now, because that's a Russian spy.
My mom might be a Russian spy.
A while.
I'm just gonna say a while.
Yeah, because who knows? Sure. Who knows?
So we still got another round of cribbage.
At least one.
And I don't know what that is, and I'm not gonna open it while we're on stream.
Video?
Yes.
Oh, from who?
From the bar.
Oh yeah, don't open
You never
that.
know what you're gonna get from the bar.
That's insane. Oh my god,
Anyway, I may go to war. Who knows? Hopefully,
have fun.
I'm sure I will.
Record some vlogs, we'll post them on TikTok.
I'll take a GoPro with me.
There you go. Could be interesting.
Yep. Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Oh, guy playing a game and somebody's, watch out, you might anger some Irish fishing vessels if you're not careful. Just some guy playing a game.
It just has all these freaking troops and boats ranked, and the very top is the Irish
just one fishing
boat.
boat, and it's like, you lose.
Oh, that guy's got an Irish fishing boat. Retreat!
Yeah. So, Biden obviously posted a tweet about all of his sanctions and whatever. And somebody goes, even more effective than that, we could send in our Irish fishermen again. They seem to settle the dispute recently regarding the testing of Russian missiles off their coast. Yeah, it's like, that's true. Just send the fishermen out there. So, do you want to fuck with the Irish guy?
That's one of the reasons why I'm not real worried about losing actual United States.
Oh, God, no.
Because after they get done with our military, then they got to deal with the largest militia in the world.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have drones, planes. Most of that militia has been in the military before.
Again,
they know how
that's assuming that it would be an actual war.
Right.
If it came to an actual attack on American soil, it would not be an invasion because it would never work.
No, most likely they'll just nuke the whole damn...
The reason it would never work isn't even the militia thing. It's the fact that it's impossible to try to invade our country.
It is,
because
honestly.
of the mountain ranges.
Mountain ranges.
Because if you invade from the east, you have to get across the Appalachians. If you invade from the west, cool, you take out California, Washington, Oregon.
You could have California.
Cool. Then you have to try to get across the Rocky Mountains, which is going to be a pain in the ass. I don't care how well trained you are, it's not going to be fun.
I was about to say, yeah, you're going to lose a lot of resources and a lot of people
just getting
trying to do that shit.
Yeah, and then what? You get to the middle of the country.
That is one thing that I never realized until I looked, I was watching on, World War II and the strategic points and talking about the Japanese and why they didn't invade the mainlands, because they obviously, and I heard, actually they did send bombers, to the mainlands, which I didn't know that until recently.
They also sent bomb balloons.
Yep.
Because there was one of them in Thermopolis.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It just didn't do anything.
Yeah. So, anyway, the actual military strategic points and militarily, the United States is a gold pile of gold.
It's
basically
almost impossible.
It's almost impossible to invade us, and the only way we could fall is and I can't remember what president said it. I think it was Reagan.
Who knows?
Or it might have been Lincoln even.
Probably not.
But he said
Reagan,
the only way that the United States will fall is from within.
Yeah.
That is the only way.
Yeah. Nobody can...
Which is why I really don't like this freaking administration. Because they're very anti-American.
It was just as bad with the last one.
Yeah.
You can try to blame the administration all you want, but that's not who's at fault.
At least I can say Donald Trump on social media and then not get banned.
No. Even then, you would have probably gotten banned. And now you still can say it. Maybe not on Facebook, but also technically private businesses, they're allowed to dictate what's said on their platform.
I get it, but the problem with it is a lot of it
is
just one way.
If I signed up
for... if a liberal says something on the platform that's blatantly wrong, it doesn't get banned. But somebody that's Republican and obviously Republican and has a Republican standpoint, and they say something that, it's hard to say whether it's right or wrong, or even if it is wrong, it still gets banned. It doesn't matter. If you're going to truly be a fact checker and say, oh, well, we're just here for the facts, then you have to go both ways. You can't just go, oh, well, this person's liberal, we're not going to ban them. But this person, oh, he's obviously Republican, ban him because he's a white supremacist. That has
nothing to do with the fact checkers. That doesn't. The system for banning things looks at many things outside of whether you're Republican or not. But let's also be more honest here. Who normally starts attacking who? Who's the one normally screaming and yelling and cursing about, well, you're a moron if you don't support this, and you're a fucking stupid idiot?
Both sides. I'm pretty sure it's pretty well equal.
It's not
There's
equal.
Dipshits from both sides.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't know. I also would bet $1,000 right now if I signed up for Truth Social, Trump's new site, and just posted Biden's a great president, I would be banned in less than an hour.
I wouldn't guarantee that.
I would.
You get a lot of people that are mad at you, but I don't think you'll be banned.
I would be.
Because that's one of the things. You cannot really be banned. It's a free speech site. That's why people wanted it. It's not because, oh, well, it's a Republican site. No. And I guarantee you there's going to be some Democrats on there, too. I guarantee it.
I doubt it.
I guarantee there'll be some Democrats on there.
Well, it depends. What's your definition of Democrat? A lot of people would try to say I am. Any right-winger would absolutely say I am.
It really doesn't matter. The site technically cannot ban you yet.
Well, it can.
It can. But the whole reason it was created is for free speech. That was why it was made. Because people were so fed up with trying to say something or say their beliefs on a social media and getting banned for it. Whether it be right or wrong, that is part of free speech. If you want to say something on social media, whether it be completely, blatantly stupid, lie, or wrong, and you could be purposefully doing it or not. It doesn't matter. Get banned for it. That's not what free speech is about.
See, I think everybody doesn't understand the point of free speech. You have the right to say whatever you want. You have the freedom to speak and say whatever you want. Right. That does not give you freedom from consequences.
Right.
The consequences...
Now, if somebody's getting on there being super racist or something like that, that's one thing. But politically, if you say something that's politically you disagree with, like even... I don't agree with... So if even, see, I don't much care for far left people.
Sure.
But when they get on Facebook and they say something that's blatantly stupid and false, I don't think they should be banned for it because, obviously that is their belief. I don't think they should be banned for it. And I think that should go both ways. It's a good thing to be able to have these conversations with people who don't understand. By banning them, they're not going to learn anything. They're not going to have a conversation. By leaving them on the
platform, they're going to have a conversation and they're not going to listen. That's how it's gone for the last... Always. I'm sorry. When your opinion is... When you state your opinion as fact, you have already decided you're never changing it. When you state, this is the way it is because I think so, you've decided you... aren't ever going to listen to whether it's true or not. You don't care. It's your opinion, and that's all that matters.
But that doesn't mean everybody has to believe them.
If you try to make the argument, because I've heard it before, well, an opinion can't be wrong. Yes, it can. You're dumb. Shut up and sit down.
Well, yeah,
in my opinion, the earth is flat. Well, it can't be wrong. It's an opinion. Yes, it can. Because it is. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Opinions can't be wrong. Yeah, they can. Trust me.
My thing is it's either got to go both ways or don't have it at all. That's all I'm saying. And I see it time and time again where you get these people that are obviously lying, like blatantly being dishonest, but it's about Republicans, so that doesn't get banned.
Are they being blatantly dishonest? You have to... Like
Donald Trump being a Russian spy, that is obviously it's obviously set up by Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation to spy on Donald Trump. That is a proven fact now. But when people say, "Oh, he's a Russian spy," that doesn't get banned. It's false. He's not. He's not a Russian spy. Now maybe he had a Russian spy that worked for him. That doesn't make him a Russian spy. He just was oblivious to the fact that that was a Russian spy. Just like Joe Biden could have somebody right now working for him that is a Russian spy, but we don't know it yet. Right. Now, does that make Joe Biden a Russian spy? No.
I think
that guy doesn't know what the fuck's happening right now. He doesn't know what's going on around him. He can barely speak properly.
Oh my god, that is still the funniest thing to me. The whole Biden's not fit to serve, we need to get him out. It's like, you idiots hate... Okay, I don't care. My opinion on this doesn't matter. But if you... Because a lot of people have said, well, Kamala would be worse than Biden, right? So why are you trying to push Biden out to get Kamala in, you morons? Think for 2 seconds before you just start doing shit. And then they go, well, we'll just push her out, too. It's like...
Even the Democrats don't want Kamala Harris, though. Imagine how bad that is.
Right. Like...
Well, what'd you expect? You picked the literal least liked person.
Yeah.
In the entire group that you could have picked from. You could have picked Bernie Sanders and people would have been fine with that.
Biden would have won by a landslide if he picked Bernie to be his VP. Mostly because everybody would be saying, cool, in 2 years when Biden's out, we get to see what Bernie would actually do.
Right. Well, at least, Bernie's a very socialist person.
Yeah.
But at least he has his own ideas and plans.
And not just that. At least he actually fights for them.
Yeah.
He doesn't change his idea every 2 weeks. He's like, no, he's been saying it since the 80s, and it's the exact same now. Everything he's been saying, he's like, this is what we need to do. Is he right? Is he wrong? Who knows? That's the question you have with anyone you elect. At least he has an idea. He's going to try. which matters, especially when nobody else seems to.
And that's why he didn't make it, because he had his own ideas and he wanted to do.
It's
his own
the same
thing.
as Andrew Yang.
Yeah, same. Yep.
God, I wish that guy would have won.
But
This country would be in a great spot.
Well, it would be a lot better place than what we are right now. But
I think we were. Honestly, I don't know if that's true. I think we were screwed no matter what. Everything led that way.
I don't know. I think I would have been able to agree with a lot more things that Bernie Sanders had to offer than Joe Biden. I already said I would rather vote for Bernie Sanders than Joe Biden.
Well, and that's a thing, right? I mean, no matter who it is, there are going to be things you agree with and disagree with as a president. Every president has done good things and bad things. And a lot of that is going to be opinion-based anyways. I do not sit there and try to say, well, Joe Biden's done nothing good, because you're wrong and you're stupid. Plus, it's like all the idiots saying, Trump didn't do a single thing good. You're wrong and you're stupid. But the question is, you look at the bad and the good that they did, and you weigh that. In your opinion, was it worse or better than what you hoped? And for me, both administrations are awful.
Yeah.
Neither of them are good.
We didn't have skyrocketing horrible inflation under Donald Trump, which
except we would have
here more.
Except we would have. The inflation wouldn't have changed. It is not Biden's fault that there's inflation. Technically, that falls on the previous administration.
Well, I don't know, spending trillions of dollars that we don't have, it kind of doesn't help.
The government for the last 4 years did that too. The previous administration just kept spending money we didn't have, because you know what? We have no money. We owe $300 trillion to China. We have no money. We have no money. None. We haven't had money in 400.
I get that.
Not 400 years. That's a little off. We haven't been a country for 400 years, but you know what I mean. We don't have money. We never have.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do know it's the highest inflation that we've had, and it might and it's just getting worse. It's getting worse and worse, and he's not doing anything to help it. He's not doing anything to.
Because what is the government supposed to do?
Stop spending trillions of dollars in other countries might help.
But the majority of the inflation isn't even being caused by our government. Don't sit there and say it is.
I mean, it is
kind of. Businesses in this country raising the prices on things has nothing to do with our government. Especially since it has nothing to do with government ideas for, you need to raise your wages to this, you need to do this. It's none of that. Businesses are just raising their prices because they can. And everybody's trying to blame Biden for it. That's not how it works. The actual
There's a lot more statistics that I could bring up that I just don't know it well enough to bring it up to say, hey, you know, to explain it to where you guys would understand it.
Right.
So therefore, I'm not going to bring it up. But there is statistics to support that this is the worst inflation caused by ideas.
I agree that
now inflation would have happened.
Statistically, yes. It is the worst inflation would have been, and it also would have been it would have been the worst it's ever been, no matter the administration. Now, could it have been a lower number? Sure, but even if it was a lower number, it would still be the worst ever. That's where it was headed, no matter what. And that isn't due to either administration. It's due to a global fucking pandemic. Mm-hmm. That is what it is. Like that. And I'm sorry. Could the response to it have been handled better in the beginning? Absolutely. Would it have mattered? Absolutely not.
I do think there's a lot of things we could do to help this. You know, start sending our, we lose so much money that we don't even know what the fuck happened to it. We just don't know. It just vanished. Woof! We don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
And also sending money and spending money and across seas.
Yeah, I don't agree with
on gender studies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't agree
with... When you're trillions of dollars in debt, why are we doing that? That makes no sense.
It's not even just that.
And this Build Back Better shit that they have proposed. We have enough
goddamn issues here. Stop trying to fix everyone else. Fix here, then fix the rest of the world.
Once we are stable, it's just like being a parent. Yeah.
It's
just like being a parent. If if you're going to have children and you know you're going to have children someday, might be a good idea to be financially stable before you start having children. Then you can start expanding your genetics once you are financially stable.
Sure.
Now the other countries are our children.
In this analogy.
But apparently we've already had these children, and we're spending all of our money on the children instead of becoming financially stable ourselves before and giving if the United States is financially stable, everybody else in the world does better.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. You know,
the
United States controls so much.
You know what's awful? Did you know the ads that you'll see on TV about, the starving kids in Africa or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that in every major European country, they get those type of ads about the U.S.? I'm not even kidding. It's a real thing.
I didn't even know that.
To all of these European countries, we are a third world country. And I mean, let's be honest, 60% of our country is living below the poverty line.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that? Is it because 60% of our country isn't qualified to have a decent paying job? Is it?
Well,
no.
Our
It's because businesses don't want to pay people. Because they don't have to. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. Did you know if we convert it to US dollars, right? Because we have to in our brains, because if I say $20 and 20 pounds, that means nothing to me. But so in most European countries, the price of their food at McDonald's is $3 American less than ours. Their employees working there have full benefits, their college gets paid for, and they're making, if I remember correctly, $18 US an hour, and their stuff's cheaper. So don't tell me we can't, because that's bullshit.
Well, and the idea of not I think we should have universal health care. I think that's something I agree
Everywhere
with.
else does.
Everywhere else does. And for people who say, well, we couldn't afford that. That's bullshit.
We could.
We just got to manage our... We don't
not spend $3 trillion on gender studies.
Yes. But, it's just crazy to me. We don't have a people problem. We have a government spending problem.
We have a government spending problem and a CEO problem. I mean, the way it has worked forever is when these companies rake in a bunch of money at the end of the year, do the employees get raises? No. But the CEO gets a $333 billion bonus just for fun. Mm-hmm. That's not okay.
Right.
And to say, well, he deserves it, that's bullshit. Because I'm sorry, without him, the company would still run. If you're talking about McDonald's, without the people flipping the burgers, the company dies. Mm-hmm. It's just how it goes. And I still hate the argument, well, what about these small businesses that can't afford to pay a living wage to their employees? Then they shouldn't be open anymore. If you can't make money, you shouldn't be open. If you have to rely on your employees making no money, then your business failed. Mm-hmm. You lost. You apparently tried to recreate the gift card. That clip is still the best. Why don't you just make a wallet on your store where people can give you money in exchange for merch later? It's called a gift card, man. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite thing to see in this world. When somebody thinks, because, I don't know, they worded it different, so they couldn't think of anything that was similar, and they go, I just created this new thing, and it's like, no, you didn't. It's been around for a long time. It's this very simple thing that's always existed.
It's also called credit.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh. No, so the other thing that happened on that podcast was they were talking about, do we create like a cryptocurrency? And they're like, we totally could. And people would spend a bunch of money on it. But that's messed up because it would be good for nothing. Mm-hmm. This coin wouldn't be backed by anything. It wouldn't mean anything. It's just a rug pull to our viewers.
The way I would do it is, the way it would be backed is I would use the interest off of it.
What do you mean?
So you create an account, technically. All this money goes into that account, and you have at some point, even though you don't have any interest in a bank or something like that, if you have millions of dollars.
When this comes to crypto, that's a whole different thing. Because the money doesn't go into an account. If I created Geek Coin right now, you guys would pay me a bunch of money, and you would get these coins that have a value. But, Bitcoin's different. It does have a backing. It has a stopping point. There will only ever be so much Bitcoin on this planet.
Right.
Ethereum is the same way. There will only ever be so much. But something like Dogecoin, where they're minting over 10 million Dogecoin a day, when it has no backing, no cap, it just keeps printing.
Right.
That means nothing.
You have to back it
all
with
of you
something.
lost your money. If you're in Dogecoin and didn't just do the fancy thing where, it was at 0.001 cents, so I bought in with $100, and then when it hit $1, you sold out for millions. If you did that, cool. You cheated the system. You did great. Good for you.
I've also thought
for everybody that's holding on to it, though, you just lost all of that money. Whatever you think you have, it will go away. Because for Dogecoin to make money, they have to sell more than 10 million Dogecoin a day.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me that's happening anymore.
Right.
Because they're not slowing the mint. They just keep minting.
Yeah.
It's not... But that's what it is. It's basically a rug pull to the people who follow you. Like, haha, we got your money. And it might be a super clean rug pull because they did technically get something out of it. They got the coin. Mm-hmm. Too bad it's worthless. While I rake in the dough.
Right.
But they're like...
I've also thought of this, like, it's amazing to me, like somebody who's rich, like, say you have $6 billion.
Sure.
You throw that into an account, the money you make off of, you wouldn't even have to spend that $6 billion just because of the interest you make off of that.
Right.
Just by having that in a bank account. Yeah. You could literally live for the rest of your life and spend money like crazy on the interest. So it's like, I wish I could just take out like a $6 billion loan from a bank and let it sit in my account for a few months and then just give the money back.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, sorry, it didn't work out. Here's your $6 billion back.
No. Also, real quick, what do you think about the way the lighting is in here now? Doesn't kill you anymore, does it?
No.
It's literally all based on reflection now.
Well, the room is white, so that helps.
Yeah, but I mean, on camera it looks better. It doesn't bleach my forehead. It doesn't make a new sun here. Fucking 5-head ass over here.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't help that I pull my hair back. That makes it look worse. If I leave it down, my forehead doesn't look as giant. Yeah. When you pull your hair
hair's starting
back,
to thin in the sides.
Yeah. So when I was having my hair done, she was like, yeah, you're not showing any signs of balding, which means you're probably not gonna. I was like, fuck yeah. The one thing I'd get to luck out on. I'm gonna die of terrible disease, because that's what my family does, but still gonna have my hair. Let's go.
That's like the Vikings, you know? They didn't care how they died as long as they had their hair.
Right? Gotta have my hair. Gotta.
Their hair and their axe.
I need an axe.
So they could go to Valhalla.
I need an axe.
You do need an axe.
I need an axe. Axe. Well, I mean, I have a hammer. A foam hammer. I still would bet money I could kill a dude.
Fuck somebody up with that goddamn thing. Even though it's foam.
Oh, dude, it's heavier and harder than you would ever expect a foam hammer to be.
Hit somebody in the nose and it would turn their nose on the back of their head.
Yeah.
So you could just crush their nose.
Yeah.
Send it into their brain.
Yeah, that thing could fuck somebody up. That's a weapon.
Yeah.
But it's foam, so I'm allowed to take it with me wherever I want to.
Just go through the airport.
Yeah. Sir, you can't have that here. It's foam. Oh, okay.
Wow! Knock him out.
Fucking whoop up! It was foam, man.
It's just foam. Bitch.
Jesus. Yeah. Why is it once every, 5 months we have to get super political on this show?
I know.
It's awful.
Well, because politics change in 5 months. Usually it takes certain amount of time
right.
for new stuff to
because
pop
like we
up
made
that's
like
important.
one true episode that was fully dedicated to all the stuff around COVID.
This one's war, so it's a little more intriguing.
I don't know, pandemic's pretty intriguing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the fucking conversations I had with Dan.
I don't even want to know.
My god. Well, so he brought up the Canadian trucker thing, right?
Which is dumb.
Thank you. But he was like, I fully support it. They're doing great. And I'm like, I don't. And he's like, what, you don't support them having their rights? It's like, it's the same issue I had with a lot of the BLM stuff. It's not the cause that I have a problem with. It is the actions behind the cause, right?
Right.
I'm sorry. You have an issue with your government? Stop hurting innocent people to show it. Take it to the fucking government.
Right.
As much as I think the January 6th insurrection thing was stupid and terrible and awful.
At least they did actually take it to the government.
I was going to say, at least you had a problem with your government and you took it to them.
I was about to say, that is one thing I pointed out. It's like, well, BLM was the same thing. It's like, no. They burned innocent people's businesses down. Right.
Do I still support what they were, the actual idea? Absolutely. Didn't support the way the protests went. Because I'm sorry, if I have an issue with my government, I don't want to. That is the first time I've ever had that. Sorry. My stream is running too good for YouTube, apparently. Because my bitrate is almost twice as high as what they recommend.
Oh. Well, I guess that's not a bad thing. No.
That's interesting. Maybe that's why my stream has so many issues all the time. Maybe I should just lower my bitrate.
Maybe.
Lower it a bit. But, sorry, tangent. I get on those quite easily. But then he kept trying to make the argument, well, they're not hurting innocent people. It's like, yes, they are.
It's kind of like the same thing that's happening in California where people can't get anything in their grocery stores because there's nobody to work for.
It's not even that. It's not even the deliveries. Because, I mean, only I think 7% of truckers are protesting. But the issue is you are blocking the highways in and out of these places. That's killing people.
Right. I get the damages that they are causing to the government by doing that. But you're also not just hurting the government. You're hurting your people, too.
And I don't agree with that. Stop using innocent people as pawns in your game. I don't like that. I can't get behind that.
Surround your government official buildings or something.
Right. They can't leave the Senate building or whatever.
Right. They can't leave until you come to an agreement. That's one thing.
Do that. That wins. And also,
you get more authority that way anyway.
I also brought up the point, if that were to happen here, like truckers were blocking off major highways, it wouldn't work in this country, right?
We just send to the military.
Right. People keep having these ideas that, well, that's going to happen here. No, it's not. Because first of all, I'm sorry, depending on who the person is, you get in their way on the way to work, they will move your goddamn truck.
Well, my thing at this point, there's no use to have... In Canada, that's one thing.
Right.
Because they are still doing stupid bullcrap, freaking communist dictatorship bullshit out there.
There's no government mandates on anything to do with COVID
Even anymore. California has are lifting most of all of their shit.
Which annoys me a little bit.
Well, you know why they're doing this, right?
Because
election season's rolling around. I know. And, these people are getting fed up with their bullshit, so...
No, See, I think I read a thing about TwitchCon yesterday that said they're probably still going to require you to be fully vaccinated to go, which is their choice. They're allowed to do that. But as a business, Twitch is allowed to tell you if you want to show up to our venue to do our thing, you have to do this thing. They're allowed to say that. And you're allowed to say, okay, then I'm not going to go.
Yeah, that's me. I was going to go with you, but I'm not going now.
Right, and that's your right. Mm-hmm. You're allowed to do that. But just like it's their right to say it. Mm-hmm. And you both get the choice.
I don't disagree with them.
Right. I'm fine with it because it's not the government forcing it. Mm-hmm. It is the private business saying, right. This is what...
That's the only time I have a problem with it.
Right.
Is when, when Joe Biden came out and said, you have to be masked and you have to be vaccinated. I was like, nope.
Nope, don't like
I don't like that. No. But when you got a Kelly supermarket or something...
Right. It's like,
that says, hey, we would like for you to be masked and vaccinated in order to come into our
You either do that or you don't go to the store. Or you don't come in. That's fine.
I respect that. That's right. Your right to do that.
It's just the same as if
I'll go over to this guy's this store.
Well, it's like if I own a store
there.
And I say you have to wear a pink flamingo costume to come in. I have the right to do that. Is anybody going to come into my store? Fucking God,
Actually,
no.
I bet they fucking would.
Just for the joke of it, I'm sure I'd
imagine going into like a Walmart or something and everybody's wearing a pink flamingo suit?
We need to start a business.
Oh my God.
The pink flamingo
Or you cannot enter unless you're wearing a pirate outfit or something like that.
Yes.
Every month you have a different outfit you have to wear.
Just make it a full thing. You cannot enter unless in cosplay. So people have to... So it doesn't matter what you dress up as, but it has to actually be a cosplay. You can't just be like...
Right.
I'm wearing a red shirt, so I'm red shirt guy from Star Trek. It's like, no, get out of here. You gotta show up in like my Fat Thor cosplay. Yeah, you have to.
And
put some effort
that would be an awesome store because there would still be people that shop there, but it wouldn't be packed.
Right.
You would have
the people who shop there 90% of the time are better people anyways.
Yep.
Like
the crazy psychopath crackhead is probably not going to shop there.
Because he's going to be as a crackhead.
You imagine being a crackhead and go into that store, man, you'd be like, I'm tripping.
Can't enter unless dressed as a Power Ranger. That is correct, Hoon.
Yes. Everybody's dressed in cosplay and you're all tripping balls. Like,
that'd be sick. Oh my God. We need to open a store.
Oh man, this is great.
Like, ooh, a brick and mortar Geeks Gear store. It's just Geeks Gear store. We need to do that.
Indeed.
It'd be hilarious. Or, you can't enter the store unless you're wearing my merch. Because fuck you. That's why. That's also
Hi,
Wunder.
Spencer.
Yep. Spencer, you're late. We're already an hour and 10 minutes in. We're probably going to wrap up soonish.
Yeah, I got to redeem myself in cribbage.
Oh, so I'm going to kick your ass again. And
probably, as long as you don't skunk me, that's all I care about.
Almost had you last time. If I would have got that one hand earlier.
You're welcome to get skunked, though.
No thanks. I refuse. I'll flip the table on you.
I have yet to skunk somebody.
Yeah, and it won't be me. True.
See about that.
I play too smart.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you don't have a choice.
I always have a choice. Mm-hmm. Flip the fucking table. Start over. There's always a choice.
I'll flip you.
Nice.
Your dog probably won't enjoy that too much, but...
Oh, the dog might eat you.
That's all right. I'll eat the dog.
Okay.
I'll make me some... Never mind.
Say that... No.
Never mind.
I say that, but my dog's kind of little. Like, he's not a little dog. Like, he's not a Shih Tzu. But he's not a big dog.
I can throw him.
He's just a dog. I was debating football with Ryan and lost track of time. What were you debating about? I'll tell you who was right.
Neither.
Probably.
Both of you are dumb.
I'm just going to assume Ryan was wrong. It's more fun that way.
Oh.
Me and Ryan don't really get along.
I don't know Ryan, so...
Yeah, no. If I owned Walmart, all customers would have to dress like the employees so everyone gets confused. Yes!
That's fucking funny.
That's awful.
Welcome to Walmart. Here's your costume.
Dude. The bigger issue is that happens now. Do you know how many times...
I was going to say, just wear a blue shirt.
You don't even have to wear a blue shirt. Just stand there and look at the thing and they assume you work there. It's like, no, I'm trying to decide if I want Velveeta or Kraft. Fuck off. This is a tough decision. I don't get to come back to Walmart tomorrow also, if I don't like my choice.
Destiny sounds like she might be getting an Apple
phone.
Because she has no choice.
Why? You always have a choice.
Because with the company she goes through, her phone or whatever, it's cheaper to have an Apple than to have a Samsung.
So again, you have the choice to pay for a more expensive, shittier phone, or get an Apple phone for cheaper. Which
because it's not a new Apple.
It is hilarious now. No, even if it was, iPhones are now cheaper than Galaxies, which I find hilarious. Apple's so overpriced, and they're now like the cheapest flagship phone you can buy. It's hilarious. What happened? Samsung, what happened? I still want a Galaxy Fold, though. They look so cool. Again,
they are cool.
Which is so dumb, because you were here. I've had a podcast where the entire episode was me ranting about how dumb it is. Because it is. It can be a dumb product, but a cool product at the same time. That is a thing that's allowed to happen. Like, do I recommend you getting a Galaxy Fold instead of just getting a Galaxy and a Galaxy Tab? Absolutely not. But if you have $2,500 and you'll want a cool device, the Galaxy Fold is cool. Well, I want one.
A guy named Travis at my bar, he has one, and he can't speak, so he has a Galaxy Fold. He just folds it open, and he's got this little pen.
Yeah.
Just taps it, and just...
Yeah.
That's how he talks.
That's
Instead
awesome.
of... He used to bring in a dry erase board and have to... Now he just clicks the screen to delete everything, and then rewrites everything. Kind of cool.
Just debating football in general.
He's also he's an artist, you know?
Yeah.
He makes logos and stuff. And he hand draws the logos.
Yeah.
And so that's what he does. He makes some pretty cool stuff on his Fold thing.
Yeah. Trying to see if there were any more stupid comments.
Also,
TikTok,
they were just talking about general football.
Yeah, I read that. Oh, yeah, so one of the people I was arguing with about the Rey Skywalker thing, I fucking owned them because they're stupid.
Well, that's most people who have a dumb argument in the first place.
Right. But they were like, she isn't a Skywalker, though. She's a Palpatine. I still don't hate the sequels, though. And I was like, you do know you can change your name to anything, right? She's a Skywalker, whether you like it or not. And they go, not by blood, which is what matters most. No, it's not. Trust me, first of all, as an adopted human, blood is not what matters most. Fuck blood. Or don't, that's kind of gross, but...
I was going to say, phrasing.
Yeah. So the first thing I said was, I hope you never talk to anyone that's been adopted, because that mindset is awful. And I was like, also, just speaking of the Star Wars universe, never call Han a Solo ever again, because he picked that name. Leia's not an Organa. Padme wasn't an Amidala. And Kanan Jarrus, everyone's favorite character from Rebels, his real name's Caleb Dune. Never call him Kanan Jarrus again. And I was like, oh wait, or do you not have a problem with those? Then it fucking clicked to me like 3 minutes later. I was like, also. Blood means absolutely nothing. Family isn't always blood, and blood isn't always family.
Yep.
Trust me. I know.
Did they ever reply?
No.
Yeah.
That's why I know I fucking owned them, is because...
It's like, shit.
It's like, I don't have an argument here. Oh, fuck. Have I been wrong this whole time? Yeah. Yeah, you have. I'm trying to find actual stupid people, though. Those comments weren't even on one of my posts. I was just annoyed. Because one of my favorite Star Wars creators was getting death threats because in her list of personal favorite canon Jedi, she had Rey at like 4th. It's a personal list.
Yeah.
Whoa. Well, she's wrong. No, it's not. These are favorites. She didn't say most powerful. She said her favorite. dumbass.
You can't be wrong if it's a favorite.
Right. If you're picking favorites, you can't be wrong. That's not how this works.
It could be the least liked person on that show, but it's her favorite person just for whatever reason.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's her favorite.
Yeah. So dumb. Yeah, I don't know.
At least ask her to explain why it's her favorite.
Right.
Before you form an opinion. Start threatening her life. Some
guy randomly on the 0-17 team with Brady, because that one brought all the crazies out of the woodwork, goes, Devin Duvernay, Spencer's favorite player on the Ravens, because he went to the University of Texas. But he is like the 3rd/4th string receiver on a bottom 5 wide receiving group. He's not good. So I picked him as my wide receiver 3, because that's what he is. He's a wide receiver 3, and so far he's not that good. And he goes, but Devin Duvernay is good. And I was like, no, for the reason I just stated. And he goes, well, that's true, but he made a great catch against the Vikings. It's like, show me one receiver in the NFL who hasn't made one great catch.
They're there for
that doesn't make you good. Right. And again, I need to qualify this. I'm not saying that they're bad at football, but they're bad in the NFL, which is kind of what matters. I hate well, they're better than you. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
I fucking hope so.
If they're not better than him, they don't deserve to be there in the first place at all. They didn't deserve to play high school football.
Right. Well, hey, watch that.
Wow, you were a lot more not banged up.
I was going to say, I could have played high school football. Honestly, it was mostly just a choice in high school that I didn't. Other than the year in Guernsey.
I'm saying right now, as you as a person now.
Right now, yeah, that's fair.
I would not have you in football pads getting fucking smacked in the knees.
Not as an actual receiver. I could still kick, I'm sure.
Well, kicking, that's one thing.
But that's different. The odds of me getting hit are quite low.
Right.
And I'm sorry, nobody's going to care that on a kickoff return, I didn't try to chase the guy down. It's like, what do you want from me? I also am 90% sure in the NFL I wouldn't be the kickoff guy. Just because you're a good kicker, 90% of the time it's the punter now. Because normally they have the bigger leg. Duvernay's a great special teams guy, but not a wide receiver. That's my point. Like, you can be great at one thing in football and not great at the other thing you're supposed to do. Devin Hester sucked as a wide receiver. Greatest return man of all time. Cordero Patterson gets the other part of the greatest returner of all time thing for a kick returner. He wasn't a good receiver. He's been good as a running back on the Falcons at the age of 30. The first 7 years of his career, he was awful. Except for when it came to the other thing. But yeah. And then, as a Bills fan, you should... So, at running back, tight end, defense left. The Bills come up. Who do you pick when you're trying to pick the worst guy?
Running back, tight end, and defense.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people were trying to argue defense was the worst because, well, they let Patrick Mahomes score in 13 seconds. Every defense in the NFL would have done that. They're the number one defense in the NFL. I'm sorry that Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Like, that doesn't mean anything.
Right, and the defense had a bad day, too. Like,
right.
Just all in all had a bad day.
Cool, they had a bad day. Every defense has those.
I was about to say, there was not a single defense that had a perfect season.
It's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't care who your defense is, he's gonna still be Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Unless it's like the Tampa Bay game, where it wasn't even the defense as a whole. Their corners and defensive backs were getting torched. But Mahomes had no time.
Yeah.
And the Bills don't have a great pass rush, and the Chiefs' O-line is much improved. So you're not going to get that much pressure on
I'd go with the running back there, probably.
That's what I did, and people were mad. And then somebody was like, well, you could have taken the backup tight end. It's like, that's not the... If I was taking backups, of course I could build an 0-17 team.
Right.
The Seahawks O-line is bad, but give me the Seahawks backup O-line. That's going to be worse. Like, what?
There's a reason they're a backup.
Right. I had to pick starters. That's what made it a challenge. And then, well, you could have said Zach Moss, the backup running back. It's like, same thing, jackass.
Let's say neither one. I mean, they're not terrible running backs, but they're not good. They're not good.
But I think I also ended up with Dawson Knox anyways. If I remember right. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. There were so many dumb... I mean, this post, again, did crazy well because people are dumb. It's got like 70,000 views, but like... Wow. So dumb.
I like how people tried to bring an argument.
Are you serious? Seattle Seahawks O-line is great. What? Okay, have you seen the way Russell Wilson gets killed? Put Brady behind that shit. He literally dies.
Yeah.
Because you know what Russ can do? He has these cool things called legs.
Mobility. There's a reason why Brady makes his own O-line.
Right. Brady with a bad O-line doesn't go well. People are saying Falk over Dickerson. Yeah, right? Oh my God. Well, see, to be fair, most of these kids are too young to have watched Eric Dickerson, but like... I didn't respond to this kid because I never saw this comment, but my reply is just going to be, sadly, you don't know ball. Because that's the big thing now, is either you know ball or you don't know ball. That guy definitely doesn't know ball. But, yeah, or then the argument for the Bills, our run defense has been bad all year. It's like, still the number one defense in the league. Right. Cool. You can give up as many rushing yards as you want if you're not going to let them throw the ball. Because I'm sorry, if it comes down to they can truly never run, their running back doesn't matter, or they can't really throw, let them run all game. Because I promise Josh Allen can outscore any running back.
Right.
Thank you.
Unless you're Jonathan Taylor.
No, he could have.
That was a tough game.
Josh Allen just
they're a pass
played
heavy.
Bad.
Well, they're a pass heavy team, and the weather was absolutely freaking dog shit.
Yeah,
and
just like the Patriots game they lost.
It's easier to run a football when the ground there's snow and the ground's
the Patriots game they lost with the 50-mile-an-hour wind and the snow and the Patriots won with Mac Jones throwing 3 passes. The Bills needed a running back and they would have won that game.
Yes, and the fact that they had the completion rate that they did in that game is fucking phenomenal.
Right? It was wild.
That's, to me, is like, holy shit. The kid's got some talent.
Yeah.
Does he have bad games? Sure.
Devin Singletary is really good. It's like, no, he's not. Again, he's an NFL player, but
I think he's just too small to be a running back.
I'm too young
honestly.
to watch him live, but he was good. Being a true football fan, especially of running backs, I've watched a lot of film. Right. I also hate the argument, well, the more modern guy is always better. That's not always true.
No.
It's the same with basketball, it's the same with any sport. There are certain guys you can pluck out of any era and put them in any era and they'll work. Mm-hmm. Can you do that with every guy? Absolutely not. Jim Brown, he'd work. Any era. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Eric Dickerson, any era. There are certain guys.
They were just talented. They were born with it. That's just what they were.
And I hate especially when it comes to like quarterbacks. Well, they didn't put up the stats these guys do now. Different game of football. A guy like Fran Tarkenton, who was the definition of what modern quarterbacks have become. Big arms, super mobile. It's like, that was Tarkenton 50 years ago. He would absolutely be able to play in any era. Mm-hmm. Fuck off. Now, even every quarterback from back then, you can't say the same thing about truly. Sure, it's one of those weird things where if you pluck them in this era, there's better training, better blah, 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 they'd be fine. Maybe. Maybe not. It's easier to judge when you know.
Differently back in the day.
Yeah. Wild.
I'd just like to see the penalties that they draw. For if you plucked somebody in the past and put them in the present, the penalties those people would freaking pull off.
Fuck. Put Ray Lewis back in the game.
Oh my god.
Fucking every play. That's a flag. For what?
He wouldn't have any money from all the freaking fines that he would have. He'd be broke. He'd be a broke NFL player. Well, what do you think? Shall we go play some cribbage?
We probably could. We're almost an hour and a half in. I think we got enough out of this one. I wonder what the odds are this gets me banned on some platform. We got too political. Got to avoid that. Also wonder what the odds are that I get unfollowed by a bunch of people for this one. Because they either disagree with me or disagree with you, which would be interesting. It's not like it's your channel. But
right.
Whatever. Well, people are dumb. Do what you need to do.
Like, I never understood the whole, like, there's a guy
Our political views are different, so I have to hate you.
Well, there's a guy on TikTok that I absolutely don't agree with most of the crap he says.
Is he an older dude?
Yeah.
Yep. Bigger dude?
Yeah.
Beard?
Yep.
From Illinois?
Yep.
Tom Powell?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I like that guy.
I like him, but there's a lot of things he says I'm like, oh, God, I don't agree with what you are saying.
I agree with a lot of what he says.
Well, but he does say a lot of things that are,
I also
make
don't
sense.
I don't follow him, so I don't see every video. So the ones I do see are the ones TikTok curated for me, which means I'm probably going to agree with him. That's kind of just how that goes. That's how algorithms work.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't unfollow him because I disagree with most of the stuff.
Have you seen the amount of people who scream such terrible things at him?
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
I like how he just pulls them up and just...
Yeah, he just always has something about him. It's like, this is... what. Or when people just say absolutely remarkably stupid shit and he calls it out. Both sides as well.
Yeah, at least he calls out both sides. But I do say he does use the Republican side a lot more because those are the people who are attacking him. Comes from.
I was gonna say because those are the people attacking him most of the time.
Well, I'm sure the left they tend to agree with him more, so they just say I agree. They don't comment on it,
or if they do, that it's still. I agree with this, but here's, my 2 cents on this. And it's normally a more civil discussion, which means he doesn't make a video about it. Because we all know with how the internet works, you don't want to be civil.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything.
Well, and I will say that a lot of Republicans are, like Republican states are states like freaking Oklahoma and stuff like that, where, they don't take care as far as their spelling as much. Like they type like they talk. I'm not saying they don't know how to spell. I'm just saying they type like they talk, so they literally sound like aren't them goddamn son of a gun shooting big ass cars. That's what they type like, and it makes them look very unintelligent.
Yeah, it doesn't help you.
Now talking with them would be different.
Maybe,
but typing wise, you get a lot more grammatical errors. That I understand. This is what they were trying to say, but this is how it came out, and it is absolutely dumb sounding.
Yeah, don't mess it up.
I'm not trying to say Oklahoma's bad or anything like that, or that the people there are bad or dumb or unintelligent.
You're just trying to cover your ass in case Destiny sees this, aren't you?
Well, this is why I commented on Oklahoma. I'm literally dating somebody from Oklahoma, so you can't say I'm prejudiced against Oklahoma
Dickerson was 6'3", 220, ran a 4.240. Like, what? Give him today's science when it comes to training and food, and he would dominate? That's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid. Well, it's just like Bill Russell, who was maybe the greatest athlete of all time in the 60s. It's like, or not Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain. He'd dominate today, just like he did then.
It is crazy to think, though.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I ran like a 4.4, 4.3 40, and that's still considered like
kind of slow.
Yeah. Now, as a quarterback, that's kind of fast, you know.
As a quarterback, that's very fast.
Like if I was a quarterback, but if I were to go in as
there's issues for you as a quarterback.
I'm a little short. To the NFL.
And also, do I have a tape measure? Somewhere probably, but not out. I don't see one. Your hands are also probably technically a little small.
What is there?
I mean, I think. Now let's look it up. We were going to wrap up, but now we're not. Average QB hand size. At least 9.5 inches from thumb to pinky, I think. Let me double check that, but I don't know.
Which I'm pretty.
Is there a tape measure in that pile of shit? I'm intrigued. I don't see one. I thought I had one.
You don't have a ruler or something?
Check the...
Here?
Maybe. I don't know. Might not have one available to us at the moment, but... doesn't matter. How hand size is measured. Okay. Yeah. Nothing? Don't got one? Don't got one. Okay. I thought I had one. Wild.
Well, doesn't matter. Here, it's just...
Ah! Come here. I was looking in the wrong drawer. Ran a 4'5", 6'2", 220-pound defensive end. Other way. And you go underneath, thumb on the end. Technically, your hands are a little small. You're just under 9.5. So, you're short, your hands are... it's close.
It's almost right at 9.5.
But if it's under, like... Even at 9.5, it's still considered small. They want them. They want big hands. Now I'm intrigued.
But
mine are nowhere near that. But
yeah.
How fuck did
But I'm also 5'7", so
right.
A 9.5 inch hand for a 5'7" guy is fucking stupid.
My hand is not. It's what, a quarter of an inch smaller than yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. My hands aren't tiny. They're just fat. That's the difference. They look smaller because.
But I will add. The point about this one, though, is throughout my high school career, I fumbled the football one time.
Right.
Once. That is insane. That is an insane stat, and I wish they would recognize something like that.
Right.
And the only reason I fumbled that one time is because it was a handoff to me, which we never frickin' do that
you were
play.
the quarterback.
I'm the quarterback. It was a direct snap to my tailback. And the ball bounced on the ground before it got to my tailback. And as I was going by, he had to pick it up off the ground and hand it to me. And when he handed it to me, the ball hit me just above the kneecaps.
There's also
so I was like trying to scoop it up
with the way you guys had your offense that is so dumb. The way you took snaps, because it was all from the shotgun, but you were in a catcher's stance. Mm-hmm. You were screwing yourself from the beginning. I'm sorry. The average time to throw, or the average time before there is a guy in the backfield, is 2 seconds. It takes you almost a full second to pop up out of that stance. You're not running yet. By the time you are truly able to do whatever you need to do, can't tell me you can read
if
you were doing a pass play, you can't tell me you could read the field from down there.
We never did pass plays.
Well, that's fair. But nobody could catch. You needed me.
But the only person that could catch was my tailback. And so the only time we ran the only play we ran out of that squatting position that was a pass was a tailback screen.
Right.
Which takes time to develop
that entire squat thing.
But
is
when
so
we
dumb.
did actually pass, it wasn't from a squatting position.
I'm just saying the entire squat was dumb. That shouldn't have been a thing. I don't know what the point of it was, but it's dumb.
Because we were, as a football team, a very small team.
Cool. And so give yourself a disadvantage.
We did, in a way, it was all about concealment and trickery. That was what the entire offense was based on.
I get that, but you can trick people better with other things. Motion.
Kinda.
Use motion. Emotional trick that defense better than anything else.
We did.
But I'm sorry, I also don't really know how...
The idea behind it was our O-line stands up.
Yeah.
And we're squatting down because we were always small people. The people in the backfield were always small. And with our bigger guys standing up, we did everything in a squatting position. So it was hard to see through our O-line what was happening with the football. Plus, every single play we had was a spinning motion. So you didn't know who had the football on every single play. Every play, they had to guess who has the football because everybody ran a fake every play.
Right. I get it. It just... it infuriated me.
Because the reason we didn't win state was because we failed, our DBs failed defensively. Well, it wasn't because of our offense.
It was also because of the way you ran your offense. I'm sorry. We're down by 2 touchdowns. Our running game has done nothing. Let's just keep running it because we
did throw more in that game more than we did all year long.
I get that. You didn't have receivers, which is fair. That is the one game where it's like, fuck it. They should have just put me out there. Because, sure, am I going to make the big play by running through everybody after I catch it? No.
No, all I needed was
something. But at least you could get it to me.
I had an arm. I could throw the football. I threw a really good football. But nobody could fucking catch.
Yeah, I should have just played that.
The best. You know who had the best hands on the team?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
And Dallin. Yeah. He was the only person that could catch. But he was my tailback.
The other issue is if I would have played, I wouldn't have been in a position to catch the ball ever anyways.
No, you would have been kicking
and
lineman.
They would have tried. That's why I ended up playing kicker all the time. I'm not built to be a lineman. Mm-hmm. That requires a much larger amount of constant aggression than I have.
Yep.
Like, can I get angry? Sure.
Yeah.
Do I live in that constant state of anger? No. I don't care. Yeah, so he played fullback on offense his senior year, had 1 fumble because his quarterback hit him in the face mask on a goal line dive. I still scooped and scored, but my coach blamed me for the fumble. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's
Coaches
tough.
will do that. But yeah. I think in order to better explain how our offense worked, you would have to actually see it. Because there was a science behind it.
I'm not saying it didn't.
And I want to go to. I wanted to go to this. I don't want to use what I have, my discs that I have. I want to go find, Lashley and see if they still have the flash drives, so that way, we could
actually use the fucking thing because I can't read a disc here.
And not only that, they don't have to give the flash drives to me if they want to. That's fine, but I can literally just take a copy onto another flash drive. And that way I'll have audio.
Or I'll take my fucking laptop and we can just copy it to it.
Right.
And then we're good. Because then I can send it to you.
But either way, I think they should still have them. They usually save those things for quite a while. But I want to go talk to them because I want the audio. Also, I want I want to see if they have my sophomore year too. So you can kind of see how I was as a right guard.
If they have the sophomore year stuff, we can show how much worse the offense was when you didn't have 2 actual genuinely good running backs on the team.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, yes, you were the quarterback, but when you throw 20 times in a season, you're just a running back who took snaps.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. Yep.
Like
much.
You were
I was a run
back.
Block person.
But show the difference between the offense of you and Dallin versus who was it before you?
It would have been no, that was my sophomore.
Which is what you were wanting.
I mean junior. I wanted my junior and senior because I really didn't. My football career didn't really begin until my junior year.
Okay.
They didn't even want to look at me because I was so small.
Yeah.
They were stuck on last names. When they went to the award ceremony my senior year, my head coach asked me, I don't know where he came from, but he was a scoring machine. And I looked at him and I said, I've been here the whole time.
You dumb piece of shit.
You couldn't get past the last names.
Yeah. That's what happens. My school wouldn't let me take any game film because they don't want us to give film to opposing teams. Jesus Christ.
The opposing teams already have film on you anyway.
Right, they are filming it themselves. They're gonna...
And that's not how it works around here. Actually,
most
throughout the
schools
season,
just call and say, hey, do you
mind if we... Because it's about the program. It's about... the kids learning football. It's not about winning.
And I'm sorry, really. That's how it is in every situation. Right. Only normally in like college and the NFL, it's just a database of all the film that you can get access to. But if there wasn't, it would totally be just
whenever
Coach Belichick, we want some film.
Right, but whenever we wanted to, when we were going to face somebody, we always watched film on them, so we knew how they ran their offense and what they did. We were like, oh, this is how their game went last week. This is what they did. This is what worked. This is what we need to watch out for. Now, you can change your game plan because that team watched that film that you played last week.
I want you to I want you to be Lingle's head coach.
Can't be much worse than what they've had.
I want to be one of your assistants, but not in the fact of I actually work with the players. I just want to draw your offense up.
Mm-hmm.
Be almost like Gifford, sitting up high, just drawing up the plays of, now here's what we're going to do. While you, the actual people person, relays the message in a way that makes sense. While me, the analytical one, goes, this'll work. It'll beat them every time. Oh, they changed something. All right, change this to this. There you go. You just beat them again.
Right.
I think it would be fun. But it would be tough, because how do you be the offensive coordinator without talking to the players?
I'm no dummy.
It's like you're talking to
you
them.
And I will talk to each other before the game happens. Yeah. This is probably what's going to work. If this is what they do, then we'll change this.
Right. It's like I'm on the headset to you, not to the quarterback. Science. It's just to you.
But that's the thing. We have headsets. Right. You could literally be like, oh, this is what I would do, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Missed my freshman year because of an elbow injury. Sophomore year was running back and safety. Junior year, first team All-State defensive end and tight end. Senior year, first team All-State defensive end. I love watching film. I still love watching film.
Me too.
Fuck. Maybe before you leave, we record one more thing and we just watch some NFL film just for fun.
Right.
Break down some stupid shit.
Once we go through and watch actually film on me, I want it to be better because the discs I have, they're super pixelated because they were burned onto a disc. It's pixelated and choppy. And there's no sound to it. And I like the sound.
Even the fucking genuine film they have is still going to suck because Lingle's cameras were awful.
The camera actually wasn't that bad. We had a newer camera, so
it wasn't
that bad. The problem was that we burned it onto a disc,
and you also had a terrible camera operator.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into
that. It wasn't the camera's fault. It was the people operating the camera.
Yeah.
But it'll still be a lot clearer, and you could tell who people are, and see things a lot better once I can hopefully get the flash drive. I can't remember if they're like flash drives or if they're little discs or something. Either way, we could take it and put it on a flash drive and then
right.
Right.
Yeah. You should do that.
But I'll probably if I can get Lashley to agree with it, then I'll probably bring you along. I'll bring you along with me because you're a little more techie,
right?
So
handle the tech part of it,
so things go smoothly, and we'll get multiple copies, so we don't have to worry about losing.
Right.
I don't really care about my freshman sophomore year. I want my junior senior year because my junior year I became a right guard, and was a very small blocker, but it's fun to watch a very small person throw large people.
That's true. I recorded all the Cowboys games and have watched them a couple times. Not as true game film, but it works. See, I have the NFL Game Pass thing. I can sit down and break down true game film, which is great. It's fun. That's why I think it would be fun for us to, go and break down, I don't know. We'd have to pick a player. Yeah. Can't do the Tyreek Hill one yet because I plan to do that with Jake. But, well, actually, I might do the Tyreek Hill one without him since he's completely given up on the idea that's even possible. He's decided Tyreek's the best in the league, which, well, because of the game against the Bills, because he had the, awful. Technically, it was just supposed to be a in-breaking route that should just be up whatever the yardage is supposed to be, whether it's a 10, 15-yard in-breaking route. It's supposed to be up, make your cut, and come across. Where instead, it's just
rounded the shit out of it.
Well, but it was rounded, but it wasn't even flat either. He didn't flatten the curve at the top. He did this, which is not what the route was.
No.
I love it. Because when Tony Romo was trying to break it down, he drew what he thought the route was, and then he saw Tyreek do it, and they erased it that quick, and he redrew the route as how Tyreek ran it. It's like... And people try to argue he's a great route runner. He can't even make an in-breaking route correctly. Come on.
No, he's just extremely fast.
Right. It's like he didn't beat them with any skill there. He just outran them. Which, impressive.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you the best in the world.
It's easy to catch a football when nobody's around you.
Right? Like, come on. All right. We should wrap this one up, though. Almost 2 hours now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I don't know who I'll be live with for the podcast next week, but we'll find out next week. So, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace. And, fucking all sorts of shit up. Bye, Spence.
Bye, Spencer.